Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today we're playing pairs. One reason we play pairs is we get to ignore a lot of the bosses. Not all of the bosses, there's still a few we care about. In any given run, you have 8 antes, that's 8 bosses, which means, on average, whichever one boss you care about, you're going to see that one about a quarter of the time, about 1 in every 4 runs. So the question is, how do we play around that? How is it that we are still able to win 40 times in a row? As always, you can get the seed from the video description, and when you're ready, let's go Gold 6 Nebula Deck. Alright, first boss debuffs my stuff. That's kind of cute. Okay, so we have the straight. We could probably go for the spade flush because it will one-shot, whereas the straight doesn't one-shot. We could also get a jack, maybe. Could be a jack. I guess I could play the straight flush. Maybe if I draw a queen, I would rather play a straight instead. Because we are playing on the Nebula deck, you start with the telescope, so probably better to play just a regular straight. And then you can get a Saturn card early on, maybe. Okay, probably Judgment and then Buffoon Pack. Let's go Judgment first. Okay. And then Buffoon Pack. So could be Banner, could be Perishable Juggler. I guess between the two of those, I would prefer a Banner. And then go next. Okay, so Banner plus Grimbo, we can win with just high card. We can win with just pairs if we want. We could... if I start playing pairs now, because the banner gives me 60 chips, we will win very quickly. Am I concerned about that? Would I rather play extra hands, or do I want to be conservative with my hands? I think I want to be conservative with my hands. That way we save hands for money, so let's do that. Let's play the pair of 2s, 3s, and then queens. That should do it. Or actually, with the chips from the banner, just 2s and 3s is enough. And then once we have more money in the bank, then we can be a little bit more aggressive, playing more hands. Could be parking as Eternal. I think as Eternal, I'm not going to take it. If it wasn't Eternal, we could take parking, but otherwise, I would take a value generator, but maybe not this value generator as an Eternal. So let's just go next. Alright, how about if we want to be conservative, we can play the flush and then the flush wins, I guess. Let's do that. And then we'll keep doing that until we have 20 bucks in the bank. We got 15 now. Could be Astronomer, could be Celestial Pack. I guess my most played hand is pairs. So Astronomer as a perishable is kind of rough, right? Astronomer is $8. That's pretty expensive. And it does pay for itself over a long period of time, but I don't know if it'll pay for itself in just 5 rounds. But maybe it's worth it for this one Celestial Pack. So this gives me a $4 discount, and then I can sell it for $4, so it's the same as just buying the Celestial Pack, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we want to buy the Celestial Pack. Maybe it makes sense to just pass the Celestial Pack, but I'm a believer in the Astronomer. Alright, and then we can take a Mercury card and then go next. Boss says something about face down cards. Okay, so I think we are still trying to be conservative with hands, so let's play the pairs which we know win. That's it. And in the next round we should be able to win with just 2 pairs. Alright, $10 in the bank. Blackboard is powerful but perishable, so we don't need that. Could be a bus situation. Almost certainly we take the bus. So if it were later in the run, if you already had 20 molt on Grimbo, maybe you don't take a bus, but this early on we could do both. So it's kind of like picking up a ×2. It's kind of like picking up ramen. And that seems fine. Let's go next. So now play the 7s, throwing away the face cards. And then the next one wins. How about a pair of 5s? Once again, do we want to be conservative with our hands? Because now we're getting 2 molt per hand. Maybe we want to play more hands. What's the boss situation? Boss says something about face down cards. Do we want to clearance sale? Clearance sale is 10 bucks. Makes my astronomer give me less. I think I'm not gonna take the clearance sale. Because I think I'm gonna start spending more hands for molt, and if I'm spending more hands for molt, I have less hands for money. If I have less hands for money, then I rely on interest for money, so maybe I don't buy this. We can just go next. Alright, so maybe we don't play the pair right away. If we know the pair is too strong, we can play high card ace. This might mess up my telescope a little bit. Maybe. High card 4. And then the next one wins no matter what we do, so let's play the pair of 7s. Okay. Maybe we don't need the banner anymore. We could sell the banner and then we get to play high card more. This boss, all clubs are debuffed. There's some Arcana packs, so I'm kind of tempted to sell the Astronomer, take the Arcana packs, and then we also have Faceless Joker we can do. Yeah, let's go look in here. Could be some lucky cards. Maybe the aces as lucky cards make sense if you're doing the bus. Sure. And then do we want a Jumbo Arcana pack? Or do we want to wait on that? Maybe we wait on that. Okay, this boss says clubs are debuffed. We can pick up Faceless. And then not take the grabber yet. Let's just go next. Alright, I can start with a pair. I can start with high card. Let's go high card, which is 1,000. Okay, let's go high card again. And then now we have the opportunity. Okay, do we want to trade 1 molt, gain $5? I think that's worth it. And now I can finish with a pair of 9s. That seems okay. And then once again, do we still want this banner? Do we still want the Astronomer? I guess that's fine. Okay. 20 bucks here. Okay, so probably Arcana and then Spectral. Arcana in case we get Hermie. No Hermie, but we can spin the wheel. Astronomer's done, so we can sell it and then spin the wheel. Never lucky anyway. Let's go Spectral pack. Could be a red seal on my ace, I guess. Sure. And then we could take an extra discard for the Faceless Joker. I think maybe I don't do that as a perishable. Maybe if it wasn't perishable, I would take it. Save my money for the grabber, right? Go next. So discard the face cards first. Let's try high card, or I guess I could play 2 pair. Let's go high card. So without the banner chips, this scores much less, and that's okay. I can discard the faces again. And then now we have no chips on the banners. So now we have to play pairs, which should be okay. 2,000 for a pair. So if I play a pair of 10s, that wins. I can play high card ace first. And then a pair of 10s. Okay. Now what? So Temperance gives me $9. A little bit awkward. We sold the Astronomer, but maybe that's okay. So Celestial Pack here, guaranteed Mercury, and I think we don't need the Plutonium. All right, and then for sure we take the Grabber. Do we also take the Standard Pack? Probably, since we have Faceless Joker. All right, get a blue 6, I guess. Go next. How are we doing on clubs? Okay, so we could play a pair for about, let's see here. This was about 2,000 plus the banner should be maybe like 3,000. 3,000 for a pair. Or we can do high card first. Checking high card to make sure we didn't play too many. So it's 2,000 for the high card. Let's go high card 9. Okay. I can discard the face cards. I'm looking for a pair of aces. I have a pair of 5s. So I could just play the pair of 5s here for the blue seal value. I think that makes sense. If we do high card without the chips from the banner, does the high card not win anymore? Is there any reason to do it? So after discarding, this should not win. And then we can play a pair of 5s. There we go. Okay, last card we used was Temperance, so maybe we don't use Mercury right away. There's a Celestial Pack. Okay, so no Arcana packs, we don't have to worry about a Fool. Let's go. Celestial Pack gives me another Mercury. I should check the boss. This boss says play only one type of hand. Gladly. Alright, Standard Pack could be a purple queen. I don't think I want a purple one. Probably. It's okay with Faceless Joker, but we don't necessarily want to do Faceless Joker forever. Purple Seal, maybe not that great on the Nebula deck if we only have one consumable slot. So maybe no queen, maybe no purple. We have 5 hands. Let's try it. Let's at least try it. Tarot Merchant is something that I want, but maybe we don't take it yet. Let's go next. There's the purple queen. We can discard. Alright, Emperor gives me 1 tarot card. Bummer. So I can play a pair, which will be pretty strong. The next pair wins. Can I get away with playing high card? I can play high card after we discard, or maybe if I play it now, it's less than 3,000. Okay, so the next hand wins no matter what it is. I could discard to try to find the blue seal, or I could just play the pair now. Or I guess we could play the high card in case we get lucky with the money. Yes. Okay. 12 and 11. Okay. Dusk is cute with the lucky cards, but probably not the thing that we want to do. We can go Buffoon Pack. This could be a way that you beat the, beat the Eye. So the Eye is no repeat hand type, so you only get to play 1 pair, so maybe this is the way that you beat it. On the final hand, you do 2 glass cards, maybe, with some steel cards in hand. Anyway, let's go Buffoon Pack first. Could be Spaceman. Probably we do that. Probably. This is another way that you can beat the Eye, because if you have generic chips and you have generic molt, then you don't have to play pair. You can get 100 chips no matter what hand you play. So let's do that, I guess. So even without thinking about the height, so they told us the Eye is coming, the Eye is happening. But even without that, maybe you're still thinking, okay, the Eye could happen. 1 in 4 runs, the Eye does happen, and so maybe Wee Joker makes sense here to take anyway. All right, let's go standard pack. There's a gold 2 we can do. Do we want Tarot Merchant? Generally speaking, yes. So maybe now I've got Molt, I've got chips. Tarot Merchant allows me to get more 2s. Let's do that. And go one more. Could be a death card. Alright, so what are we doing with the death card? We can copy a gold 2 maybe. I can discard these face cards. For the Faceless Joker, there's a 2. I can turn a king into a 2. Maybe. And then play a pair of 2s. Maybe. I guess we don't have to play pairs. Maybe we don't even want to play pairs. Let's try... I kind of want to do the high card here. I kind of want to play this too for the Wii Joker. As a high card, this probably doesn't win. Okay. Maybe I need to get rid of this banner. Maybe the banner is a little bit too spooky. Now we could go high card one more time. And then play the aces. Let's drop the banner. That way the high card for sure doesn't win. Okay, and then I can play a 2. Does it score 2,000 points? I've messed up my telescope. Alright, there's the aces. Ship it. And I can turn that ace into a 2, maybe? Alright, the last card we used was Death, so I'm looking for Arcana packs. There's an Arcana pack. Could be a Chad. Is good with Wii Joker. Also, that could be a way that you beat the eye. So if you just have the 1 glass 6 with the Chad, you can re-trigger it. Okay. So, kind of interested in this. Chad plus 8-ball is... You know, 8-ball is kind of just okay. Obviously, it's better if you get it early on and you lean into it. But in Ante 4, maybe it's too late to do the 8-ball. 8-ball gets better when you have the Chad because you can play a single 8 and then re-trigger it a bunch of times. You can play your 8s as separate hands. Way less good on the Nebula deck. -1 consumable slot. Maybe less important when we already have the Tarot Merchant giving us tarot cards. So probably we don't take the 8-ball as an Eternal, but maybe if it was an Eternal, we could take the 8-ball instead of the Faceless Joker. Let's go Arcana in case we get a Fool. No Fool, but we can make some lucky cards, so it could be a lucky 2 here. Maybe. And then... Celestial pack. So there's another Mercury card, and then... Chad plus Wii gives us chips. These give us Molt. The glass gets us out of an emergency. So that's it. We win, basically. Order could be Hierophant. Maybe we use the Hierophant to make some bonus cards. Is pretty good with the Chad. Not strictly necessary, but could be kind of good. Now immediately we get punished for the Hierophant because there's a purple seal here. Let's go... Maybe we do a bonus 6 because we have the glass 6. Okay, I want to try to draw a 2. So we can win with just high card. We have enough chips on the Wii Joker. We can win with just high card if we want. That's how you get the most Chad values. You play the 2s separately. Do we care about the world? Let's see. We had clubs, so we could make spades. I think is not necessary. Probably we don't care about that. Obviously, you could get a blackboard, but maybe we have enough Eternals already that we don't need a blackboard. We wouldn't take a blackboard. Maybe. Sure, I don't care. Let's go play 2s with the lucky card in front. Alright, the pairs wins. So if we want, we could stall. And that way we can draw more face cards for Faceless Joker. Okay, so I could discard this. I'm looking for another 2. I have the 6s. Let's go throw away high card again. There's a pair of 2s. And then we ship it. That's it. And then now we're tied on the telescope. Okay. 96 on the Wii Joker. So if I play high card, it's half as much as a pair. But it is half as much. Okay. Throwback we don't want. This boss is the Serpent. So let's go standard pack. We could take a Polychrome 6 is going to be good with the Chad. Later, maybe. I worry about my ability to draw my 2s. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, this makes... It's useful. We take it because it's useful. Alright, and maybe we could take the Tarot Tycoon now. We can try to make more of those 6s. Though, maybe I want to make more 2s. I don't know, I'm conflicted. Let's go next. Still have Faces Joker. Okay, so there's the 6. We could start with a pair. The pairs are maybe getting too powerful. Maybe we play just high card ace. And then save the pairs for the 2s. Or we could play just high card 2 here. We could discard the face cards. Okay, I could play a pair of 2s. I could play 2 pair of 2s, which maybe scores less. Or yeah, this is fine. Okay, the next hand probably wins. So if I play a 2 here, I think we discard now. I think, okay, if we discard, we go -1 on Grimbo, but we could draw 2, we could draw Blue Seal. I think it's worth it, and I think Grimbo we might sell if we get an X-Mold Joker. Alright, we can play the 2, I guess. That's it. 152 on Wii Joker. Alright. So, could be the Devil for my Blue Seal. Or, I guess if it's a glass card, maybe I want to keep it as a glass card. Take the Devil anyway. Here, could be you take an ace and you try to strengthen it into a 2. I think I'm not going to take an ace. And here, glass 5, you could try to strengthen it into a 6. I think the Polychrome 6 is cool, we take. Because we already have a glass 6. Now we have 2 glass 6s, but I think I don't take 5s. Maybe if there was another fancy 6 we could take. Here now we could do high card ace. And basically we've given up on the telescope now, which is fine. I could discard the face cards, so the Faces Joker. I can play the pair of 2s. You could play 2s one at a time for the Chad, but the reason why I play 2 is so that I can draw 5 cards. Here we have a 2. We could potentially draw more 2s. We could... That's it. If I discard here, I'm saying I would like to see another 2. And that's fine. Didn't get the 2, that's fine. I can make a gold 10, I can make a gold 6. I think I'm going to go gold 10 and probably disregard the 10. Alright, so the high card is up to 12,000. Okay. And plutonium, I guess it's okay if we use it. So there's a Mars card. That could be a long-term plan if we try to make more 2s. We currently have 6, which is not that many, but we do have the Tarot Tycoon. So we can go Pluto guaranteed, or we can take a Mars card. Look inside again. Alright, Pluto guaranteed, or we can take a Mars card. Go one more. Could be an idol. Is kind of fun with the Chad. I guess doesn't really fit in with what we're doing here. So with the Chad can be useful for pairs. We get slightly punished for not making those spades earlier. I guess I don't take that. Let's just go Chariot, go next. Alright, high card alone is 12,000. So we could do high card ace here, I guess. Okay, well, that was a little bit more than I wanted it to be honest. I could play a 2 here. I could discard first. So I want to discard the face cards for the Faces Joker, but I think drawing 2s is more important. Alright, we could discard these face cards, that's fine. Did not draw any 2s, that's okay, I can play a 3. Okay. And then that's not a 2. So Chariot, maybe you want to save it for the red seal ace. I kind of like having the lucky ace and then turning the lucky ace into a lucky 2. So maybe could be a steal 6 since we have the fancy 6s. And then play high card here. Really unfortunate we didn't draw any 2s, but maybe that makes sense against the Serpent. There's the 2s. Chip it. Ah, never lucky. Okay, so each pair is now 30,000. This boss. High card is my most played hand. Interesante. I guess we just play pairs. So here, Plutonium's fine. Maybe we want an Earth card. Yeah, Plutonium's fine. No, maybe I'm not supposed to do that because it scores too many points. There's a Buffoon pack. Still have this Faces Joker. Maybe we take Acrobat now. Could be... do we want the Acrobat? Yeah. So the Acrobat, that's another way you can beat the Eye. I guess the answer is just get X-Mult, right? With X-Mult you beat the Eye. Oh well. Go one more. Judgment we don't have room for. Priestess costs $3. I don't want to pay $3 for a Priestess. Let's go next. So now what? We could play 1-2. We can play the pair of aces. We could play the high card ace. We don't have Faces Joker anymore, so let's try to get a pair of 2s. That's a lot of plus 20s. Alright, I can play this pair of 2s. I can try to dig for more 2s. I think we start with the pair of 2s, which I think actually wins. Bummer. Maybe we actually just sell Grimbo for scoring too many points. Could be Hermie. I can use Power to stone the faces. Maybe. Looking for more 2s. Could be a purple ace. I guess it could work. I don't have very high hopes, but it could. Could be gift card here. Instead of Grimbo, could be gift card instead of Acrobat. Gift card is powerful with the Tarot Tycoon. So you get more money, or you get more temperances, so you get more money. You get more money, you can reroll and get more tarot cards. We probably don't need this Acrobat. Probably. Maybe we don't need this Grimbo. Probably. Acrobat's kind of nice because your first few hands don't score any points, and then your final hand does score points. Maybe that's something that we want to do. Instead of Grimbo, where we're scoring kind of too many points, twice as many points. Get Grimbo out of here. Let's go. I could take Magic Trick as a way of getting 2s in the shop, but the chance of that working out is probably not good. There's the 8-ball. Nope. Northern Lion, no. Could be Empress. Seems unnecessary. Let's go next. Alright, Purple Queen, we can discard. We can turn the king into a rock if we want. Let's go play the Lucky 2 first. Okay, and then I can discard purple. Looking for more 2s. There's another tower for another face card. I can play this pair of 2s. Okay, there's a blue seal. I haven't seen the blue seal in a while. Haven't really needed the blue seal now that we have the Wii Joker. So, I can use a discard, I can save a discard. Let's go high card like this. I want to be able to draw my 2s. The next hand wins no matter what we do. There's a 2. That's it. Okay. Could be Devil, I guess. Could be Celestial Pack. Telescope shows me Plutonium. Let's take Mars. Could be... Devil we can hold on to. Standard Pack. Don't need a holographic 3. These tarot cards in the shop have not been the most useful, but at least there are tarot cards. Let's go next. Alright, so we're not allowed to play high card. We can discard the ace and probably the 6s. Well, okay, we don't want to get in a situation where we're forced to play... We can't play high card, right? I can discard the jacks, I guess. I can start with a pair of 4s. Throwing away the ace. Alright. I hope I don't have to play the 6. I can play the pair of aces, that's fine. I probably should throw away the gold card or keep the gold card. I think at this point we keep it. So there's a pair of aces. And the next pair wins. So I can play the pair of 2s. I can make a gold 6. Alright. Ship it. Okay. Ante 7. Alright, this boss says first hand face down. Wait a second. I got scammed. This is not the eye. We got to do the ox though, I guess. Anyway, Celestial Pack we can take. Could be Mercury, could be Plutonium. Probably doesn't matter. Standard Pack, more 2s. Nope. And it's too late for seed money to do anything. Obviously, we have $50 in the bank, but it's too late. We can re-roll. Could be Mars. Sure. Go one more. Perishable wing caps. That's possible. I do like the wing caps. And then we can try to build into the 4-of-a-kind 2s. We have 57 cards in deck. The 4-of-a-kind 2s is not going to happen. But maybe I don't need the gift card that bad. Go one more. I want tarot cards. Emperor gives me Chariot. I don't care about. Let's go next. Okay, so could be another steel 6. Could be discard purple. Emperor again. Star we don't care about. Discard purple again. Sun we don't care. Alright, here's pair of 2s. Maybe I should be thinking about the blue seal and trying to do 4-of-a-kind with the blue seal. Pair the aces. High card 2. That should win. Okay. Boss says first hand face down. Okay, Fool for an Emperor. Let's go Magician first. beans. So I guess these are not really the cards that I want to turn into lucky cards, but I don't have any other choice. And then this stuff here we don't care about. We can hold the Fool, but then now if there's a tarot card in the shop, we can't buy it, is a little bit awkward. This Buffoon pack could be a card shark, and then you play multiple pairs, I guess. Maybe card shark instead of acrobat makes sense. Acrobat's better with the 4 of a kind. We don't need that. Let's go next. All right, pair the aces. Okay, we could do pair of lucky 3s. A lot of plus 20s. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to use the Fool because we only have 1 consumable slot. Let's make some lucky 2s. Let's dig for purple. Maybe not. We could do 4 of a kind with a blue seal. Yes. Okay. Could be Justice. We could put on the red seal ace. Could be Justice. We put on another 6, actually. Here could be a Mercury card. This standard pack probably doesn't matter anymore. Let's go next. All right, first hand we just discard them all. I'd like to find more 2s, I guess. There's a pair of 2s, so how many 6s do I have? I have a 6 of clubs. So let's start here with the pair of 2s. And then could be play ace as a high card. Is fine. Okay. I could do 2 here as a high card. I could do 2 here as a high card again, and then we can win with the pair of 6s. Ah, bummer. Alright. So there's a Magician. Let's go Arcana so I can use this Justice card. There's a Fool for Mercury, or it could be Temperance for 21. I think I just want the money so we can reroll for tarot cards. I really want a Death card. Is that better than make a glass ace and then use the Fool for the extra Justice card? Maybe that's better. Okay. Could be a Buffoon pack. Probably we take the extra hand size. There's a Stone Joker we don't have room for. And since we have Justice upstairs, I guess we just go next. So there's a 6. We can play high card. We can play a pair of 3s. We can discard. Maybe you want to save your discards for purple seals. Let's go 2 pair with the 3s. Nice. So how about a gold 6 we turn into a glass 6? And then we can discard looking for 2s. I'm going to play the pair of 4s because it allows me to throw away the face cards. And then we can finish with the 2s. Could be a pair of 2s here. Could be play the 2s one at a time. I guess let's go one at a time. Expecting one not to win. And then we can play a second one. There we go. Okay, this Mercury card I don't care about. We have one more round on the wing caps. There's the Hung Man. So, could be Dusk could be Saki Busky. This boss says shuffle me Jimbos. Alright, Wii Joker is currently it's kind of like a ×4. Okay. So let's see. We have that many of those. So probably we don't need the bus anymore. Alright, so I have one of those. Do a little re-rolling. There's Mercury, there's 4 Fienders, there's not enough tarot cards. Bummer. I guess we just take a Mars card and then go next. Look at this. I don't think that's what I want to do. So let's just go next. Alright, 632 on the Wii Joker. I can remove the 7s and then we can discard purple. That's a start. Get a Justice card. Okay. So let's go high card Jack. Okay. We could do Kings. I just want to save my discards for the purple seals. I could do high card Ace. Okay, there's the purple. So I guess this 6 we can turn into glass. We can discard the purple. And is there anything else we're trying to draw now? We have one more hand, so we could get one more 6. That's not it. Okay. Alright, so put the rock in the front. No, let's not do the rock. Let's just play the queen. No. I want that glass 6. Good chow. Alright, 630 here. That's the Wii Joker. We could do this set of 6s. Polychrome in front for the Chad, and then ship it. Alright. Someone promised me the eye, and we didn't get the eye. I'm a little bit disappointed, but yeah, here's the idea. Okay. Which one's the eye? The eye is the no repeat hand types. So how do we beat the boss without repeat hand types? Because when we're playing pairs, usually what we want to do is we want to spam pairs. We want to play 3 or 4, sometimes 5 pairs per round. So how do we beat this? One way to do it is with almost always you have some kind of generic plus mold. So that's coming from the bus, or that's coming from Grimbo, or potentially red card. Sometimes you got Supernova, and then it can be a little bit spooky. The next thing you need is some kind of generic chips. And of course, Wii Joker, Rare Joker, very powerful. Of course, that's going to get the job done. Also, sort of in a similar vein, the Bull is very powerful, but it's an uncommon Joker. So you need to respect the common ways of getting plus chips, right? Castle is less good when you have only 2 discards, but it's not useless. If you can get 15 chips per round on the castle from just 1 discard, or like 3 at a time, so 3 clubs and then discard another 3 clubs, that's good enough already. But for the common Jokers, you're looking for things like, I like the Runner. I think the Runner is pretty fun. You could also do Square Joker. I think the Square Joker is maybe not super fun, but it is reliable. Slow and steady, get that 16 chips per round. You are playing all of your hands every round anyway for your Green Joker and for your bus. So this is just extra value on top of those hands that you're already using. And then the benefit of that is, okay, if I have, usually it's not this big, usually it's not 600 chips on the Wii Joker, maybe it's like 200 chips on a Square Joker, I think is somewhat reasonable. So if you got 200 chips, then playing a high card is half as much as playing a pair, except I can play high card more times than playing a pair, maybe. Or if I have no repeat hand types, then I can play a mix, high card pair, 2 pair. Yeah, I like high card pair, 2 pair, and then maybe 1 flush, or maybe 1 3 of a kind, or something like that. And that's 4 hands, right? That's plenty. There's also, if you've got base chips and molt halved, okay, you have the blue seals giving you a ton of planet cards. On the Nebula deck, you have the telescope giving you more planet cards, and so you have that very high level hand. This cuts your chips in halves. That could be very brutal. That can be run ending. But if you have those chips jokers, then maybe it's not so bad. Maybe against the water, if you can't draw your hand because you have no discards, maybe having those generic chips is very helpful. Maybe also against the Ox, because then it makes you not play pairs. In this case, our high card ended up being our most played hand. The Needle is the worst. I think it's the hardest one to play against, to counter. Some of these other ones you can also use, let's say, repeatable X-Molt. So it's not always that you get the very high level. So here, only level 13 pair, that's not crazy. We did get a blue seal, we did use it a couple times, but we didn't use it a lot. Maybe we only got 3 pair levels from the blue seal total. So sort of a typical level, I would say, in a run that doesn't have a blue seal, I would say maybe level 10 is typical. Level 9 or 10 or something like that. So, okay, if your levels are not that high, then maybe the glass cards and the seal cards are not going to help that much. But part of what makes the Chad so powerful is you only need 1 interesting card, and then your ×2 becomes a ×8 now. So if it's 10, then ×8 is going to be 80. That's 70 on top of 10, gets you to 80. Or if it's 15 and you go ×8, then that's probably some big number too. And then you could do, with the glass cards, you only need the 1 big hand. So you do, let's say, 1 glass 6 and then 1 steel card, or maybe you do the 1 glass 6 and you get lucky you have 2 glass 6s or something like that. 2 glass cards in the same hand. The 1 red seal you turn into a red steel card, you turn into a red glass card. Even without the Chad, you can still use those glass cards, not necessarily on the pairs, but I like to take 4 of a kind levels. So you open the booster packs, you have the telescope gives you those Mercury cards. Sometimes you'll reach a point where you have enough Mercury cards, and then the only thing that can stop you is not being able to play a pair. Like if I play a pair, I win. If I don't play a pair, then I lose. So instead of taking an excessive amount of pair levels, now I start taking 4 of a kind levels as well. Or maybe I use my blue seal to get 4 of a kind levels as well. And that makes me a little bit more flexible in the end game. If you have, let's say, the Violet Vessel, okay, maybe the Violet Vessel, sometimes even if you play 8 pairs, it's not enough points. You can score more points by the 4 of a kind here at equal levels. Each Mars card is twice as many chips, 3 times as much molt, so that's going to be scoring as much as 6 pairs. But then on top of that, you can put 4 glass cards in the same hand. Is kind of powerful. Obviously early on it's very difficult to play the 4 of a kind, but later on in the run it becomes very typical to use a couple of death cards to copy your value generators, use a couple of hung men to remove cards from your deck, and so you get to the end game and you can play the 1 4 of a kind. Even if you can't play a lot of 4 of a kind, you only need the 1 to win the round for you. That's the idea. Anyway, good luck out there. Take care, everyone.